Hi Taurus, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your March 2024 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as over in front of us, the Celtic Cross spread as always, and I also pulled the Four Agreement and Wisdom of the Oracle card for you guys. But we're actually going to start reading off by rolling those astrology ice we have in front of us to get an idea where your focus should be as far as that goes. Okay, so we have 10. And 10th house energy for you guys is Aquarius. Naturally makes sense at the time recording this. We're still in Aquarius season. There's plenty of energy there. And in general, 10th house points to career and social status. Okay, we have Libra. We have the South Node there. It's been there for a bit. And then toward the end of March, we're actually going to have a full moon in Libra. And that's actually your sixth house of, well, actually a full moon eclipse, I should say. And that's going to be in your sixth house of health, work, daily routines. So yeah, it could definitely be a big focus on career and work for you guys this month. And lastly, we have Uranus. So Uranus has actually been in your sign for quite some time. Due to that, maybe you've had some more upheaval than usual, right? Possibly in your career sector. But yeah, we're going to have a new moon in Pisces around the middle of March. It's going to harmonize with Uranus in your sign, so there could be a positive shift around that time. All right, so we'll keep those in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Eight of Swords, and challenging that, we have Judgment. So really what I'm seeing with this is you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed around a certain situation, possibly not knowing the way forward from here, right? Hesitant to make the next step. And for this to come up in a challenge position, it could just be saying that maybe something from your past is coming back up to the surface that you need to look at. And that could be the key to helping you unlock what you need in order to move forward from where you're currently at. And given that Gemini energy is a financial house for you guys, it could definitely be somehow tied to finances. But doesn't have to be. All right. In the foundation position, we have the Four of Cups. So yeah, to me this says that you could have been resistant to receiving some signs around this situation, right? So, I mean, the cups usually represent emotional connections, things along those lines. But if we look at that one cup there, it looks like it's coming out through a cloud, right? So for some of you, might have been getting some signs and synchronicities from the spiritual realm, kind of nudging you to look at a situation. But for whatever reason, there could have been some resistance on your part to do so. And maybe this was even outright communication coming from others that you might have been resistant to in the past. All right. In the past situation, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So this is actually a Taurus energy here. So to me, this says whatever the situation is, says that you probably did invest a lot of time and energy into it, right? It's probably something that you valued at least at one point. But you might have just started to feel after a certain point that maybe the amount of time, effort, energy that you were investing into it wasn't paying back in the way you hoped it would. All right, in the present position, we have the Knight of Cups. So this is actually a Pisces energy here. So it could just be saying that as we go through Pisces season, maybe there's going to be people in your environment who are supportive to you, right? So if they see that maybe you're going through something, they might try to come forward and help out in certain ways. Now, for some of you, this could represent your energy as well, but I feel like this is more external for you guys at this time, where there could just be supportive energy in your environment trying to help you navigate through the situation. All right, and in your future position, we have the Five of Pentacles. So this is Taurus energy here. So it could just be saying that maybe you feel like you're starting to lose ground in the situation, right? I mean, we see the Seven in the past, and we see the Five, both Taurus energies, right? But this obviously looks even more harsh than that Seven. So that could be why this situation is trying to come back up to the surface for you to look at it, right? Because you might feel like you're stuck, and through the process feeling stuck, then yeah, you might be falling behind a little bit, right? Or maybe it is impacting your mental health or even your physical health in a way to where, because it's weighing so heavily on your minds, it might actually be setting you back in real life ways now. All right, in the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Queen of Cups. So yeah, to me, this says that this is definitely a situation you care about, right? It's something that you value. Again, like I said, even if you don't feel like you do in the present, it certainly appears that you did at a certain point, right? But again, I feel like there's a resistance around speaking about it, right? So if we look at the cup from this card, it's the only one in the cup suit that's actually completely covered. So to me, that represents, instead of being more open about what you're experiencing at this time, it seems like you're a bit more closed off and guarded around it. Okay, in the environment position, we have the moon. So when I see this card come out, especially in the environment, I usually like to emphasize that you should look out for the main lunar cycles coming through within the next month. And at the time of recording this, we haven't had that full moon in Virgo yet, so that's one. That actually is going to make a supportive aspect with you guys as a fellow Earth sign. I think I mentioned briefly that there's going to be a new moon around the middle of March that actually is going to make a harmonious aspect with Uranus in your sign, so that could be a positive shift in energy for you guys there. And then we did mention as well that toward the end of the month, there's going to be a full moon eclipse in the Libra. So all of those cycles could be significant for you guys, helping clearing up some confusion around your situation. All right. In hopes or fears position, we have the Page of Cups. So this is, to me, for a lot of you, this might be coming across as a fear, right? Because like I mentioned, with the cup being closed off there, it looks like there's some reluctance on your part to communicate around something. And for some of you, that could be what's at the root of it, right? Maybe you have a fear that if you were to speak out, it would come out wrong, it would be misconstrued, right? Because we do see that fish come out of the cup there. So it could just be one of those things where you feel like, okay, it's just easier for you to even not speak about it, which maybe for a certain amount of time that might have been the case, but now it looks like that's actually starting to backfire. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Seven of Wands. So this is Leo energy here, and yeah, to me this is that it looks like toward the end of the month you're still going to be feeling really guarded around whatever the situation is. People might be coming forward to you, asking you if everything's okay, right? And you could, for whatever reason, it's be really resistant to speaking about what you're going through at this time. So, I mean, hey, you guys will know what's right for you in a moment, I guess. But for what it's worth, like I said, it looks like there is some supportive energy in your environment that you could count on if you need to. Okay, and bottom of the deck we have the Six of Pentacles. So this is actually more Taurus energy here. So I didn't realize that initially, but we technically have all the minor arcana Taurus cards in the spread. So yeah, bottom of the deck to see the Six Pentacles here. I feel like this is saying that whatever the situation is, there needs to be balance restored, right? So that's the ultimate goal of why these energies are pushing and pulling in certain directions, ultimately for balance, right? So let's say if for whatever reason you were the one who was in the wrong, quote unquote, in the past situation, maybe this is coming back up to the surface for you to make it right, right? Or on the flip side, right? If you were the one who was done wrong in some way and it's just still lingering with you and still bothering you, it might be saying that the key might be you still might need to address it, right? Even if not directly with the party involved, but at least look at it, try to figure out what you needed to learn from that and try to move forward from there. But we'll see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. All right, from the Four Agreements card, we have Don't Make Assumptions, and it says Discern the Truth. Okay, it says the problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are the truth. We make an assumption, we misunderstand, we take it personally, then we react by sending emotional poison with our word. This creates a whole big drama for nothing. So yeah, I mean, I do have to say, obviously I don't think that'd be the case for all of you, but this might be tying into what we were saying there, right? Why there's some big resistance around communicating something. And then at least this makes it sound like what could be the worst part of that is this all could have just been a misunderstanding. So clearing the air could really help in that situation, but hopefully that resonated. All right, moving on to your Wisdom Oracle, we have the Fates. There's the artwork and the number 17. So we'll see what this has to say. Okay, essential meanings says fate, karma, acceptance that there are things you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. The Oracle's message. The Serenity Prayer sums up the meaning of this card. God, grant me the strength to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There are things in your life you will never have control over. The conditions brought on by the evolution of the collective, by nature, and by your past experiences may be fated, preordained by a spirit for a greater purpose you cannot understand in this lifetime. It may not be in your cards to understand why certain events occurred, but you can accept the mystery and work with what those events and your current circumstances have to teach you. This is the wisdom contained in the Serenity Prayer. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there, right? Because it talked about mysteries and working through that energy to see what it was meant to teach you, because that's more or less what I was saying to an extent as well. So yeah, for some of you, this could be something that goes really far back, right? I didn't necessarily view it that way initially, but reading that message makes you think that this could be something that's really been lingering with you guys for a while. The relationship message says other people are who they are. You can't change them. The challenge is to accept them as they are and not try to make them otherwise to suit you. This is a time to take a look at how you attempt to mold people to fit your view of how they should be, so you can remain in a relationship and avoid discomfort. What if who they are and whatever is happening between you and them in this situation is perfect from the perspective of spirit? Now is the time to accept what you cannot change, even if it means that you honor yourself, spirit, and the other person by moving on. Love unconditionally. For each of us is on our own journey, and we cannot direct that of another. Be aware that this relationship is indeed fated, and you are meant to evolve into a better version of yourself as a result of it. So yeah, that was an interesting message there, because what I will say is it definitely seems, like I said, for a lot of you, there's some resistance around communicating something, right? And like we said, that could help restore the balance ultimately, but I didn't necessarily get the feeling that this was a one-to-one romantic connection situation, but maybe it's even impacting other areas of your life as well. So maybe that's where that's going to connect there, but hopefully it resonated. The prosperity message says, your experiences concerning prosperity and abundance are beyond your personal control right now. You are being invited to accept what is unreservedly. This could be a temporary situation seemingly thrust upon you by outside forces, but there is an underlying purpose you can't see that has been determined by the fates. It could be a situation you are unprepared for, and you may not understand how it will benefit you in the moment. Do not fight the situation. Ride it out and see where it leads. Surrender to it, and the serenity you need to make good choices from here on out will be given to you. You will indeed flourish. So yeah, another interesting message there. That almost, to me, made me think of like a tower moment type of situation. I'm not necessarily seeing anything like that in this energy. But again, like I said, if that's the case, that could just goes to show that for somebody, this could be something that goes back quite a ways, and you've just still been dealing with the after effect all this time. So, bit of a heavy one, but like I said, it looks like there is some room for improvement with the situation this month, especially, like I said, it looks like that Pisces new moon, making that supportive aspect with Uranus in your sign around the middle of the month could be beneficial. But hopefully that resonated for you guys. We'll wrap up there, and we'll see you all next month. All right, bye.